what is it that all movies have in common, or at least most? Shots, cuts, angles, all sorts of magical camera work that directors use to communicate a story. Most scenes will use multiple. Some scenes will use several short shots, and it creates a fast, quick-paced, tense kind of vibe that might be needed for the moment. And other times, a longer shot is used to convey a different kind of mood. Maybe to emphasize something at hand, to appreciate the frame that's given and to look beyond the surface. Most of the time, there's a healthy blend between the two, creating a serene mixture that doesn't feel too forced and instead going more off of what the moment needs. Music videos are no exception to this. Just the other day, I shot one for my friend Nico, and I only used one take, one shot. So I'm gonna break down how I did everything, from the planning, pre-production, logistics, to shooting, all the way to editing, and also how I color graded it using Dehancer, but more on that later. So, you might be thinking, Digit, that sounds stupid. Why would you only use one take? Well, let's break it down real quick. So, this all started when I was randomly doom scrolling and I came across this music video festival. I instantly called up the bro and I said, Yo, we need to do this. You right, bet. And so then, the plan was set into motion, and just a few days later, I was at his place and we began to brainstorm.
But it still carries that like new elements being brought in and out. I think that would be like a tying of both.
I think so. Also, like logistically, it would be really freaking hard to do.
Yeah,
like the other one.
We need people moving out of shit. Like,
I mean, I guess at your house, right?
Yeah, my house. I'm thinking already at my house, right?
Okay.
I don't want to rent anything.
Yeah.
Oh, day in the life. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, following the day in the life of someone balling up and like what that looks like. Yeah.
You could start in your room, but then like we could make the most of your house.
Yeah. Follow the room. There's mirrors everywhere. We can use those for shots. Kind of go through, eventually leading outside, and then like some kind of ball up-esque scene at the end.
Yeah. It'd be really funny if there was an explosion at the end, I think.
I don't want to blow up.
Keep in mind, we wanted to submit, but it was due on the 23rd. We met up on the 15th, and as luck would have it, because of both of our schedules, we were only able to shoot this video on the 22nd, which left us one day to freaking film, edit, everything. Amazing!
That's the way every day goes.
So, we had a few key inspos in mind when planning all of this. Nico put me on to Kendrick's God is Gangsta video, like the music video for You. It was really cool. I've never seen it before, so shout out to him for putting me on. I love the concept of having a single set that doesn't change whatsoever throughout the whole video, and yet the tension continued to grow, letting the talent communicate a story through their acting. So I wanted to use some concepts of that in our video. As well, I think I've always just been super inspired by Yachty's videos. Shout out to AMD Visuals, low-key my goat. Like, ever since I've started, I've fucking loved the look and the feel and the texture and the grain of all of his freaking videos, bro. They're all so cool. The 4x3 like static, like dynamic framing that he has is so sick. So shout out to him. Gabriel Moses' No Thank You for Little Sims was also like something I kept in the back of my mind. In particular, the last scene where Sims is like rapping into a mirror with an audience behind her, and it's one shot that's super long. I loved the message that it gave and how it like sometimes it felt uncomfortable to have one shot for so long, yet in the end it kind of all worked out. So I wanted to keep that concept in mind as well while shooting this. Finally as well, I really had the Taylor Swift music video in mind. I love the concept of having a bunch of random shit going on and you're never quite sure like where you are or what's going on, but that keeps interest, which brings me to my next point, by the way. So obviously having a one-take video is cool in concept, but in practice it can be really hard to execute because the biggest thing is how do you keep people interested? You know, that's kind of hard using one take. As cool as it is to watch somebody rap for 2 minutes, it's not the most interesting thing in the world. So this is something that we kept in mind a lot. I think one of the biggest things that we wanted to do was definitely tell a story somehow. My original idea for the project was to have a single room that was unchanging, right? And so Nico would be in it. The shot would be static, right? The camera angle would never move, but the room would change over time. And so I thought it would be cool to have like stagehands come in, almost like a theater production, like stagehands come in, bring in furniture, take out furniture. And I thought it would be really interesting considering I feel like the song was super like laid back and kind of fit the vibe for it too. But for obvious logistical reasons, it was really hard to like make this idea a reality, especially in less than a week. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a really stubborn person too. Like I love my ideas because my ideas are fire, right? But Nico also had a really good idea too, where he wanted to have some something moving and dynamic, which is kind of where that Taylor Swift video like came in as inspiration to us. So shout out to Nico. Like, I'm very stubborn of a person, but honestly it was like a way better idea to like keep it moving the entire time. As well, that's like easier for interest purposes. So yeah, I'm really happy with what we ended up with. And then honestly, like, the video kind of came out fire, so shout out to him. So we ran around his house and we began to plan out the sequence. We figured it out really quickly, honestly. It helped a lot that we had a clear vision beforehand, which lent itself to the space that we were using. I mean, like, it's his house, so I feel like he knows that best. Just a guess though. I opted as well to do a few test runs on my phone and camera before the shoot day, just so that like everything could run well. So here's the little sneak peek of that.
It's like dark, and then on the pop it's like, yeah, and then
All right, brother's room. Brother's room. As a director, DOP, production, whatever, all of the above, I had to sort out like a lot of difficulties that I knew for a fact we were gonna run into. So as we were going through the entire house, I knew we were going to be subject to a lot of tight spaces and spaces where I was going to be really close to Nico. So I wasn't really sure if my equipment would be suited for it. I work with a Lumix G85 and like a little assortment of lenses, but I was considering renting a lens for it, as I would have loved to have a shallow depth of field, crash zooms, and a crisp image. Especially because of the freaking Gabriel Moses videos that I was super inspired by recently, I really wanted to have some sort of a crash zoom somewhere in the video. And as well, because it's one take, having variety in your focal length would have been really interesting, but I don't know, I guess we'll see. However, due to my camera being not the most common in the world, I guess not a lot of camera brands have like micro four third lenses, especially to fit all of those qualities, or maybe they do and I'm just terrible at researching, but I couldn't find any. Due to all of this and the time restraints, I just decided I was gonna stick with my own lens. I ended up going with the Sigma 16mm 1.4. Works out pretty fine, and it checks out two of those three things on the list. It's really crisp, it's really sharp. Shout out Sigma, y'all should send me some lenses, I'm just saying. It has a good depth of field. The only thing is it's a prime lens, so no zoom. But the biggest upside to all of this is that I own it, so there's no need to rent and we can keep our budget at what it was. This, however, made me have to get really creative with the angles and the shots that we were going to use in the video, as we were limited to one zoom basically. For example, in a lot of the upstairs shots, I decided to get close and point the camera to different things in the environment to tell more of a story. For example, when Nico was opening a door, I would show the door handle instead, or when he was walking through the hallway, I would show his feet, like kind of, you know, highlighting the footsteps or the lamp that's above to give it more of a sense that you're moving. And of course, in our typical fashion, everything was figured out in the days before the shoot. So casting was done, treatment was finished, shots had all been planned out. All that was missing was to shoot it.
If I get hit the water multiple times today, I'm not gonna be happy. Now I can pull it out. Okay, we're good. Fuck you, whatever. She came out and I thought I did something wrong. That's how good the acting was. I was like, holy. Oh my god. Oh shit. Fuck you then. Fuck you. Piece of shit. Fuck.
Let's go back up, bro.
Fuck you, bro. What do you want, bro? Suck my dick.
This was probably one of the more productive shoots I've had, which I'm really proud of myself for, by the way. The music video got done with like basically an hour or two, and then we just used the rest of the time to film like reels and social media content. So big thank you to the entire crew, by the way. You guys were all amazing and everything came out super fire. Shout out to Zayd for filming the BTS, by the way. You're actually my goat. Yeah, I don't know, shout out to everybody, bro. All of you guys were cool. Here's like everybody's details and shit. So after the shoot, we have... So I got home and I instantly imported everything into DaVinci. Luckily, as it was one take, I honestly did not have to think all that much about it. I just dragged it in, added a couple sound effects here and there, synced up the music, and then I was ready for... So, fortunately, I got hit up by Dehancer to do an honest review of their products, so I thought it was a good idea to use this project as a good show of that. So I'm gonna be so for real and dead ass as to whether I think their stuff is good or not. Yeah, thank you again though for letting me try out their shit. You guys are really cool. Okay, To be honest, I'm not the best at coloring, by no means, and I would not call myself like a professional colorist, but I for sure try my best with what I can do. Like, I'm a demon with LUTs. I would say I'm okay. Like, I'm not amazing, but I get some compliments on it. So you know what? That passes. With Dehancer, I think it was a really easy way to achieve like a semi-realistic film look, which if that's what you're into, then I would definitely recommend them. There's a lot of things I've always wanted to include in my work, but I just have never gotten around to like figuring out. For example, halation was a big thing. Fucking DaVinci doesn't include it in their free version. I get it. You gotta make your bag somehow, but like still. So it was really cool with them. I was able to just like do it like that. So yeah, another thing, it was just really easy to like play around with. They have like a million different film presets and stuff, so it's cool to like go fuck around with that as well. Like another little thing I've always wanted to include are film frames. Like for example, the Bad Bunny's Boquete music video uses a little film frame, so I was like, oh, I want to do the same for this video to just give it a little more depth. And fortunately with Dehancer, I was able to do that. I'm making them sound like they're some fucking like heaven sent product. I don't know. For Nico's video, I really aimed for a bluey and greeny look. I played around with some of the film presets, messed around with the settings on the color, included a fuck ton of bloom and halation because this shit tough, bro. Honestly, I'm really happy with the way it came out and it looked, and it's probably some of like my best graded work. So in my honest opinion, like this isn't a tutorial or nothing, I'm just letting you guys know what I think about the product. I would say it's a really easy way to make your stuff look better. If you're bad at coloring and you want a really simple way of getting your shit to look good, Dehancer is the way to go. It has a lot more depth to it for sure. I'm just too stupid to figure it out, but I like what I have from what I figured out. So yeah, the one thing I don't like about it, I will say, I don't like the monthly subscription service. Like, I think that's kind of lame. Again, I get it. We all have to pay our bills and eat at the end of the day, so I respect it. But as a creative myself, I don't want to have to pay like $10 a month just to color my work when I could like, I don't know. I think it would be cooler if it was like a one-time purchase thing, you know? Like that makes a lot more sense to me. Like for example, I don't like how like Adobe does that neither. I think it's stupid. I fuck with DaVinci though. Like you buy it once and then you never have to buy it again. I haven't bought DaVinci neither, but you get the point. Also, I will say like it did feel a little gimmicky after a bit because you get such like a Sony FX30 kind of look that I feel like everybody on TikTok and their mother has used. But you know what? It looks tough, so I don't really care. Like, I'm content with what I made. So if you're looking to color grade and you're wondering, yo, should I get this? I don't really know. Like, I don't have much bad things to say about it. I just don't fully agree with the payment thing. But if you're like making bread like that and you can afford this shit, I would suggest it. It's only like $10 a month. It's not that bad. And if you're like really dedicated to coloring, I would suggest getting it. And if you do get it, you should for sure use code DIGIT10 so y'all can go support me so I can also afford to keep the lights on and shit. Okay, so after all of that, we finally ended up with the... So I'm not going to play the full video here for obvious reasons, but you could go find the link in the description. You could go watch it on Nico's channel. Go watch it. We worked really hard on this and I'm really proud of the way it came out. Okay, so what did I learn from this experience? Be super organized. I don't care if you're a director, photographer, whatever. If you're anybody on set, everybody there just wants to get the job done, bro. So having a solid plan and a good vision matters. Everything will flow well if you know what you're doing and if you come prepared. If you don't, you're not going to get anything done and people are going to judge you. So don't do that. Yeah, on the same topic, I guess, working with a crew is a lot of fun and I really want to do it more. So if y'all could hire me with bigger budgets so that we could bring more people in, that would be fire. My email is in the description. And lastly, you should use code DIGIT10 at checkout at Dehancer. That's also a lesson I learned if you're trying to color grade like a pro. Yeah, also you should go buy my book. Thank you for making... Oh, the light died. Okay, that's basically it for this video. This video took like way fucking longer than I wanted it to, but thank you for sticking around to the very end. Shout out to Dehancer. Again, big thank you to you guys for making this video possible and for trusting me with your shit. Thank you guys for 100 subscribers, by the way. I forgot to mention this, but I really appreciate it. Even though it's kind of small, like, I'm still happy that 100 of you guys like my stuff enough to want to keep up with it. So yeah, thank you for that. Maybe we hit in 1,000 soon. Who knows? Maybe this year. I hope, bro. Thank y'all so much. Go like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. I don't fucking know when the next video will drop, but probably like in the next month. So look out for that. Stay tuned. And that's it.